How would you feel if your child's personal details were put out on the internet for everyone to see? For some parents in the United States, this nightmare has actually come true. Minneapolis public schools in Minnesota fell prey to ransomware attacks. The hackers encrypted sensitive data about the students. They demanded $1 million in ransom. The school refused to pay the money, and so the hackers dumped some 300,000 files online. These folios were raw, intimate, and graphic. They described sexual assaults faced by students, their psychiatric hospitalizations and medical records, encounters with abusive parents, absenteeism from school, and even suicide attempts. In one of the leaked files, a student recalled the trauma of continually bumping into an ex-abuser at a school. The student begged, "Please do something." Some talked about wetting their bed, others about crying themselves to sleep. There were complaints against discrimination. Social security numbers were out there, even contact information of district employees. It was the kind of information assaulters hunt for on the dark web. And do you know what the worst part here is? A majority of these students or their families were not even notified about this breach. Because as bizarre as it may sound, schools are not legally obligated to notify parents of such cyber attacks. Still, the administration of Minneapolis public schools promised to inform individual victims. But you see, those were just empty words, it seems. Many of the students and their parents still remain in the dark. And this was just one case, but there have been many such cyber attacks in US schools. From the Los Angeles Unified School District, private paperwork of almost 2,000 ex-students was leaked online. Schools in San Diego, Des Moines, and Tucson were also hit. You see, schools have become prime targets for far-flung criminal hackers. They are treasure troves of sensitive data on vulnerable children. And unfortunately, they are often ill-equipped to defend themselves from such data breaches. Institutions are either too slow to admit a ransomware attack, or they drag their feet on notifying the victims, if not both. And it's not just schools, by the way. It's also happening in hospitals and even in the Pentagon. At least 33 hospitals in the US have been targeted by ransomware gangs so far this year. Last year, the figure was 290, and the breaches just keep on coming. Just 2 days ago, the Caracut Data Extortion Group claimed that it has stolen over 1 terabyte of data from the Jefferson County Hospital. This data included medical records, test results, and the personally identifiable information of both patients as well as employees. The Caracut Data Extortion Group is a notorious gang of hackers and data stealers. It does not bother to encrypt data. Instead, it just steals the data and demands a ransom. The ransom has been known to range from $25,000 to $13 million in Bitcoin. And if the victim refuses to pay up, the stolen data is auctioned off or simply leaked on the internet for anyone to misuse it for personal gains. Many such gangs now operate in the United States. Ransom House and RA Group are just a few other big names. This is what has been happening in the public sector, but things are not any better in the government offices either. Do I need to remind you of the Pentagon document leaks on Discord? Hundreds of pages of classified documents were casually put out on the social media platform. Some of America's top military secrets, from its relationship with its allies to the war in Ukraine, were out for everyone to read. The country's own top leaders, be it the President, Joe Biden, or the ex-President, Donald Trump, have faced fire for mishandling classified data. One had hundreds of such documents just lying around in his Mar-a-Lago residence. The other had them lounging in his garage next to his Corvette. The Pentagon has vowed to tighten controls. It says that it is taking steps to revamp how classified intelligence is accessed and to better track potential threats from the insiders. But it is about time that America took some strict measures after all. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.